Russell, thanks for joining us again at the end of this second Test match where England have levelled the series with an impressive victory. What have you made of their performance and how they turned it around after goal?
Well, they've lifted themselves up, they've learned from their mistakes, and that's the most important thing. They've hung in there and done exactly what they needed to. For me, Swan was the standout bowler, picking up 10 wickets, his best figures or match figures you would say. But there were two specific performances that really have put them in this position to win this game, and that was Anderson's 3 wickets in that first morning, from which Sri Lanka couldn't really recover and go on to make that big first inning score they needed, and then Kevin Pietersen's 150, because the platform was set, but the way he played really put Sri Lanka down, didn't let them come back into the game, and also gave them an extra session which helped them coast to victory. So that's where it was special. From Sri Lanka's point of view, Sangakkara, the real disappointment, nothing from him, which of course your best batsman, your number 3, when he doesn't give you anything, you're always going to struggle. But yet, great to see a lot of fight, but in the end not enough energy and firepower to even cause any last minute ripples in the English lineup.
If we just go and talk about Kevin Pietersen for a moment, that was a very special innings, wasn't it, to set up that match? I mean, he's had a few problems over the last few years. I mean, some people have called for his head, which is often quite a ridiculous comment, but that was a very standout innings, wasn't it, for him to get 150 on that pitch, where even the likes of Jai Warden have struggled to score quickly.
Yeah, that's the real impressive thing, where no other batsman dominated. Yes, you had to wear the opposition down, spend a lot of time, defend many balls, but Pietersen, he was able to play his own game, which is not suited to these conditions, and the way he did it was really impressive, enjoyable, brought life back into the game, and the options he used was great. When you consider the tough times he's been having right through, it was either a very positive blow or a solid defense, which when you see those defenses, bowlers really begin to worry how they are going to go through a batsman. But even though he was attacking the ball, I think the key factor was that he got his bearings right. He was leaving the ball well and defending strongly. When a batsman gets his bearings right, his instincts just take control. You don't have to think twice. When you see a ball in your zone, you'll really go after it. It's not about hitting the ball and coming back into your defensive zone or where your bearings are at its best. It actually works the other way, even for an attacking player, and he got that right, and that's why he was able to feel so free in attacking the Sri Lankan bowlers.
In both innings, England's bowlers stuck at their task very impressively. It paid off late on the first day, and then it paid off late on the fourth day, quite dramatic fashion, with Swan's 2 wickets. How impressed were you by their sustained efforts in the heat? And I know it's not necessarily as hot for you Sri Lankans, but kind of for England, these are very tough conditions. How were you impressed with how they stuck at it?
Oh no, these conditions are very trying for Sri Lankans too. Of course, they know to handle it better, but it is very tough. But I wouldn't agree with you on the fact that you said how were you impressed in these 2 innings. But if you go through this whole winter, the bowling has been impressive. They've done a fair job. It's just that they hadn't had runs on the board to back them up. But it was really incredible. It could have easily fallen apart last evening, but then again you keep persevering, and then the gates open. But what England really have picked up is you've got to seize those moments, wait for those opportunities, and that's what they did yesterday. When the partnership was building, they sat back, made sure too many runs didn't leak, and their moment was with the new ball. The harder ball, you're obviously going to get a few extra, few balls to turn quicker and a little bit more extra bounce, and that's where they came back with a lot of energy. Anderson was kept out of the attack for a long time, so they've identified moments where you need to attack, where you need to just play the waiting game and conserve energy, and if you do that well, you get into a position from where you can dictate terms. But going at them hard all the while doesn't pay off in this weather.
You mentioned James Anderson there. He's one of the standout fast bowlers in the world right now, isn't it? I mean, his spell with the second new ball last night didn't get any wickets, but it was magnificent.
He certainly was. I mean, he gets the ball to move both ways, and I haven't seen that since of late. And if you look at all the fast bowlers on show, Anderson was the only one moving it around. And why I'm so impressed with him is the last time I saw him out here during the World Cup, etc., he didn't do much. So he's gone back and he's now backing himself, and he's backing his skills and showing that he's a world-class bowler, whereas in the past we used to just think of balls moving around, then James Anderson is a handful, but now the respect has changed and he's totally up there and doing a great job for England.
A drawn series is by no means a disaster for Sri Lanka. They played some good cricket in Galle. They've competed at stages here. There's been Mahala's form. There's been 2 good innings from Angelo Matthews in this game. Harath has bowled very well. What do you think Sri Lanka will take from this series going forward?
Well, positives for sure, the ones you mentioned, but at the end of the day, when you go 1-0 up, you do expect to seal the series in a 2-match series. So disappointed that it couldn't be nicked. But what do? You've got to look forward to things, and it can only get better. Sangakkara's, Dilshan's, they have no contribution, and then your team is going to struggle somewhat. But yet they've competed, they've made life really difficult for the world's #1 team. So with everyone chipping in, going forward, I think Sri Lanka are making progress. Still lots of areas that they can improve on, but definite progress from the last few months, and huge strides, I would say.
If I can just quickly ask you at the end about shall we say, slightly more controversial moments of this game. There was Tilakratne Dilshan not being able to save himself with a review on the 4th day, and then there was Kevin Peterson's switch hit on the 3rd day where he was warned. What did you make of those 2 incidents?
Well, Tilakratne Dilshan was unlucky, I would think. I do think he didn't hit it, but Rod Tucker could do nothing. It was not convincing enough, and that's where the rule stands. He just think he was unfortunate that he got a rough one from the umpire on the field. It was Bruce Oxenford at that stage, but that's how the game goes. And the DRS, yes, we are having a few issues, we're not getting clean results, but we know which way it's headed. If there is a doubt for the umpire on the field, if there is doubt, it stays with the batsman, but in his mind, if it is not, he goes the other way. But you've got to accept it. And what a lot of people are not clear with the technology is, if there is doubt for the 3rd umpire, his doubt stays with the umpire on the field. So a lot of people do tend to argue that there's doubt, it's got to go to the batsman. No, not in the instance where the 3rd umpire is concerned. If there is doubt, he will stay with the on-field umpire. So if we are clear with that, and we do know it's about taking out the bloopers, and we still got to accept that there will be mistakes. Players make mistakes, umpires make mistakes, and I think that's the beauty of the game. Otherwise the game also becomes unpredictable, and I think in this way it's more enjoyable. But of course there are areas that we can look at DRS and try and make it much sweeter and reduce these controversies. On Kevin Peterson, I think the umpires got it right. He was turning a little too early. The rules say that it's not allowed. Dilshan had not hit his delivery stride when Kevin Peterson was moving around, so the umpires were right in calling that, and that's also marginal. It could have gone either way. It's very tough to pick it up. I can say that because I saw it on slow motion many times before coming to my conclusion. So these little marginal decisions can go either way, and I think rather than making a big issue out of it, we should look to move on and enjoy the game much more than we are doing at this stage.